What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to a live. This is another live. Trying to get more content out. I always say that and then I don't. But you're here. By the way, if you're here, check in, like the video, of course, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed because that's what the YouTubes wants, I think. But anyway, if you guys have questions, please do let me know. I got a bunch of questions already sent in from people on multiple platforms too. And to start things off, I just want to say thank you to a few people that placed orders with me already today. It's 9 in the morning, so don't have a ton. But Chuck Huntington, what's up, man? Derek Holloway, Josh Dykes, all you guys, really, absolutely. Angela Cagle, thank you for all of you who have let me put orders in already for you today. Thank you for being awesome. But by the way, if you got questions today, please do let me know. Post them. I want to get to your questions. By the way, if you're watching this after the live, write down the questions as dumb as they are, as clever as they are. No wrong answers, and we'll get to them on the next one. But I wanted to go over a couple quick things that I thought were pretty awesome. By the way, starting literally minutes ago, if you order $5,000 or more worth of zero products from me, we have a absolutely limited edition Benchmade knife that is sick. It's awesome, and I'm a huge Benchmade guy, so yeah, go do that. Also, if you're on the WCR site, I throw stickers. Anyway, it's somewhere. There are some new limited edition stickers that are coming in sticker packs for a giveaway, but they're WCR stickers that are really awesome. And I know you probably already have a bunch of these because this is what you're getting with normal orders. So get some stickers. By the way, have to show you. This one is a gold foil, like indented. Anyway, you know what's crazy? Is like if you're an OG, by the way, tell me you're an OG without telling me you're an OG. But we started window cleaning at a time where window cleaning wasn't cool. There wasn't anything like interesting about it. It just was we were like janitors that cleaned bird poop off glass. Literally what we did. And there was no culture, but there is now. It's pretty awesome. By the way, another thing that I have sitting on my desk before I get into Q&As is this. If you have not seen this yet, this is, if the lights pick it up, a completely carbon fiber squeegee. This also was extremely limited, but I got my hands on one. It is so light. And I know people are going to use this thing. I don't know how well it'll hold up because it's kind of more of a wall hanger type thing, but we're getting more of them in, by the way. So if you haven't yet, yeah, this thing is this is cool. This is really cool. The I guess lights are kind of reflecting, and it almost looks like painted on graphics, but it's all carbon fiber. Even look in the inside, you can see the carbon fiber. It's so stinking light. By the way, if you were to get one of these, would you use it? I want to know. Let me know. Awesome. So let's get into the kind of Q&A stuff. I gotta be off here at 10. I'm on live chat, by the way, on Tuesday. So if you're here, if you're on the site, windowcleaner.com, go and talk chatness to me. You know I'm a rep for windowcleaner.com. The number's down on the bottom. Go to WCR windowcleaner.com and we can chat. By the way, if you're here, thumbs up the video because that would be amazing just for me. And also subscribe because, yeah, I want to beat Steve-O. I'll never beat Steve, but anyway, it's a funny thing to say. But by the way, if you guys got questions, no matter how stupid or smart they are, post them. I want to talk with you there. And I got one come in. What's the best way to raise prices without losing my regular customers? That's from Tommy R. Tommy, man, Raising prices is the hardest part to kind of get your brain over. I always tell people, like, if you think you can't do something, you're like, my customers, what? That's because you've never tried it. Absolutely, it could happen. And raising prices, I think, needs to be done every year. It sounds weird until I explain it to you. Okay. Um, sure, you did a bid last year, 2 years ago. I've always done it for this price. They're fine. They like it. They're good. But the problem ends up being is that if you don't raise your prices and inflation goes up, you're making literally less money. And I'm going to dumb this down. Obviously, you all understand it anyway, but if a dollar is worth a dollar now, 3 years from now, with inflation the way it is, and mind you, we went through like 9% inflation, like crazy, right? If you go through that high of inflation, now your dollar is really only worth 90 cents. So you've changed nothing. And instead of making $10, you made $9. You didn't change it. Well, that's fine. It literally is less money. So you have to raise prices. But the sucky thing is that you got to talk to your customers and be like, yo, I got to raise your price. And that sucks. It really does suck, because when you raise prices like that, you feel like you're somehow kind of disappointing them or pissing them off or whatever. But it's not necessarily the case, because everything's gone up. Gas prices fluctuate literally daily, and people go, gas prices, but then they go buy gas, right? Like milk's more, stuff is more, eggs. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, eggs are more money for no reason. So the way to talk to your customers is I do it calendarically, which is a big fancy word for connected to the calendar. And I do it above and based off of inflation. So the best way that you can do to raise prices at all, I think, is to talk to a customer and say, we send out notices once the job is, but we also explain that we do yearly raises. Your raise is going to be 2% above inflation. Okay, I told you 2%. Your brain goes, 2% is nothing. Okay, 2%. What is that? A couple cents? Well, on a ticket, it's not really a couple cents, but it's barely anything, right? 2% above inflation. So at 9%, we were raising prices 11%. And in your head, you're like, you can't raise. Yes, you can. That is literally what business does. You got to raise prices, stay absolutely accurate. If you don't, then what happens is you get a bunch of other stuff, and you're like, my COGS, cost of goods sold, my work, my hourly. You should be averaging $100 an hour every hour for an entire day. That's with drive time, bathroom breaks, with everything, right? If you're not doing that, you have a ton of room to kind of go up in what you're doing. So one real good, but thanks to Tommy R for that one. Nick A said, how high do you raise them when you raise prices? That's it. I'm always tethered to inflation. So when you have a really good inflation year, I'm going to be less, right? So if our inflation is only 1%, which I don't know that it's ever been that low, but if it was 1%, cool. Like, I'm going to do 2% above that. It's only 3% raise, because I'm always staying like ahead and better than the inflation rate, which is phenomenal. But I'm also smarter this year than I was last year. My crews are better this year than they were last year. Everything goes up, so I'm going to charge that 2%. But inflation happens regardless if I suck, if I'm good, if I'm whatever. Inflation sucks. The other thing with inflation is that if somebody has been using you for 10 years, and you're like, well, I can't raise the price. Well, you can't raise your prices now 2% over 10 years of inflation. At that point, you just can't. You can't, even if you did it for only $100 and now you're like, sorry, I have to do $200, and you know it's still a $300 job. Morally, they're just not going to do that. So it's very tricky to do it after the fact in big chunks and do small ones every year. So that's what I do. 2% above inflation. Master R, I guess. I don't know if Reed or Master. Anyway, Master Reed. First time on live show. Your videos are awesome. Any recommendations? Thank you, by the way. On marketing in commercial spaces, walk-ins. How do you ask managers for bids? Thanks in advance. So when you say commercial, I think you're actually talking about route when you go into like storefronts. Commercial and route are very, very different. Very different, just indeed. But route is just like this. When I walk in, I'm already counting up the windows. We run half sheets of NCR, right? So carbonless copy paper, basically. And it's just a couple quick questions. I'm writing down the price, writing down the name of it, everything, and then I walk in. And as I walk in, I instantly am like, hey, can I talk to the owner or manager? And they either go, yeah, hold on 1 second, or I'm the manager, or they're not here, or whatever. Oh, great. Well, not a problem. My name is Jersey with XYZ Window Washing. We're actually in the area all the time. You probably have seen our trucks. We do, ABC there, XYZ there, all these. I start listing off some places to create kind of relativeness. And I give them the sheet. I give them the half sheet with the prices. I give them my card information. I said, could you just let the manager know about this one? Or if they're the manager, I'll give it to them and go, do you have somebody doing it now? Just keep in conversation. Yeah, we have somebody because they all have somebody. Okay. For something for us, we'd actually be able to get you down and be $24. And we're actually doing the places across the street. That's every week. We're here on Tuesdays. Um, Kind of let them speak. A lot of times they're looking at it and they're like, okay, well, I've had John, he's done it for years. He's actually less. Is he? Okay, well, cool. Well, we really appreciate loyalty because we have a ton of loyal customers ourselves. So sticking with them is absolutely awesome. If anything changes with that, please do keep this. Keep it on file just so you have my name. We're in the area all the time. I'll stop back. We'll call, contact you. I'll let you know. We'll keep up with you. But if anything changes, please do let me know. That's like the cold, they shut you down type thing. I instantly, on the back of that, as I'm walking out, I write down the person who I talked to's name, what they said, and the date. And now I go put that in the tickle folder, and then there's all the follow-up stuff. That's how I get to kind of managers, owners, that type of thing. But here's the biggest thing you have to remember when it comes to route. Route is just basically you getting leads for the next time. You're just getting leads to call because 98% of your closes are going to come from the follow-up. I'm literally going to call them the next day, even after they just told us that. Hey, it's Jersey from XYZ Window Washing. We were just in there yesterday. I talked to Debbie there, and Debbie mentioned that you guys had somebody, John, but I wanted to see if you had any questions on that. I dropped off a bunch of information, see if there's anything we can help with. Oh, yeah, all of a sudden it's instantly real. Like what you just did is now instantly real. So that's your follow-up. I contact them. If they still kind of like, no, we're still with John, really happy, but we'll keep your information. Awesome, no worries. I'll keep up with you, but if anything changes before that, let me know. Put them in my tickle folder for a month later and do this exact same thing. That's just follow-up. Follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. By the way, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel now. Also, my number's on the bottom. So if you guys do have any questions that we don't go over here or you want to buy stuff, which is awesome, please do let me know. But how do I keep my employees motivated when business slows down? Oh, that is also a really good one. So we're in a service business. Like there are bigger times of year, there are slower times of year, there are times where you're like, I can't keep up. There's times that you can't, find stuff to do. The big thing is if you're in an area, I come from Wisconsin. That's where my main company was originally. I'm down in North Carolina now, so I don't have to deal with snow. Obviously, you know why I moved. But Wisconsin, for us, you knew that there was a slowdown. We did seasonal layoffs. So if you're doing Christmas lights, I think that's phenomenal because Christmas lights fill a time to get you some really big money, and they kind of fills a time of the year you're already slow. You can do that, and then you have teardown. So that gets you through January typically. And then all you really have is like February and March for like a slowdown. Now, there's a few things. I always give the option to the guys and say, hey, do you want to get seasonally laid off or do you not want to get seasonal laid off? And it's up to them. They'll let me know either way. Work with a payroll company that will allow that to happen, and it really is pretty nice to have. A lot of them either think they can or want to or don't want to, so pretty awesome, by the way. Thank you for that. Is it better to focus on Google ads or Facebook ads for local services? Mike. So That's an interesting one because the actual ads programs are a little bit involved. Now, you guys know if you watch anything, and tell me in the comments if you agree or not. But Facebook ads, I think, are fantastic. And the reason is a lot of you, if you're young, you're like, I don't even have a Facebook. I don't know anybody on Facebook. That's right. But you're not trying to advertise to your friends or you're trying to advertise to our customer. And a customer is on Facebook. Facebook's targeted. They are seamless when it comes to like people kind of just see them. You got to stop them, but you got to split test no matter what you do. And split testing is the part that takes up so much stinking time. Split testing is trying something, changing logos, changing letters, putting it back out there. It's the time consuming thing, but eventually when you do this, if you just put up an ad and you're like, I made this, and you put it up and you sit on it, nothing happens. I always like talk about like fishing. Like no one goes out there fishing, throws their bobber out, and then just sits there for 4 hours. Huh? Didn't work. No fish in this lake. Yes, they're fishing there. They just didn't bite what you had. You didn't try something new. You didn't take the line out. You didn't do any of that stuff, right? So you have to split test. Once you get split tested, by the way, it could take a whole season to split test something. And it's really good. You can turn something on. This is no joke. I got one customer that I talk to a lot, and he is in a warmer market. But in the normal season, we'll say maybe 9 months of the year, he's averaging 12 customers a day from Facebook. He's getting like 20, 25 messages from people. A lot of them tire kickers, some of them, spam, whatever, but that's fantastic. Like, that's huge. That is huge. You're like, well, I don't have the money to spend on it. Well, you're not spending if I said to you, hey, would you give me $100 if I give you 1,000? You'd be like, what's the catch? No catch. Just swap it out. You'd be like, yeah, I just made $900. Okay. Would you spend give me $1,000? I'll give you $10,000 right now. They're like, yes. What the heck? I just made $9,000. Okay. The idea is the same in marketing, right? So it's not spending money when you look at it as it's going to give you something back. The time that you think you're spending money is when your ads suck. And a lot of your ads suck. I'm sorry. Like if you put ads out and you're like, oh, ads don't work. I literally have had somebody say that. Ads don't work in my area. So you're telling me no company advertises in your area? Well, they do, but they probably don't work. No, your ads suck. I'm sorry for the hard truth, but your ads suck. And we've all seen ads that suck out there. The problem is if you build an ad and you make it, you go, well, this is great. Well, it is to you because you built it. You're not your customer. Who's your customer? Ask somebody else. Have somebody else pull the ad up and tell you if it sucks, right? They can let you know if it sucks or if it doesn't suck, right? Once you get that going, though, then it's just like an ATM, right? I'll give you, just between you and me, WCR spends like $10,000 a day in ads. Let that sink in. You're like, how do you spend? How much money does it bring in? Right? It's crazy. Anyway, by the way, if you guys are here, please do ask some questions. I got a couple more to go through. And if I don't get to your questions now, don't worry. We'll have this on the next one anyway. But how often, I like this one. How often should I follow up with leads that ghosted me? Ooh. That is that's interesting. I wanted to show you how common this is. If you're watching the video right now and you've ever been ghosted by any customer ever, just somebody just stop taking your calls and pretends they don't exist, give the video a thumbs up and you will see how many people. It'll be basically 100%. It's crazy. The thing is that when you're talking to people, they go like this. That's instantly you start talking, no, they're trying to shut down the conversation. The same thing happens when people are not as interested. They don't want to take the time to talk to you because you're like, oh, the guy's going to push me. He's going to talk. He's going to do. That's why you get ghosted. And I will 100% continue to contact them a couple more times until I blatantly say, and I'll do this with customers that we're working on, with window cleaning stuff because people get busy and seasons and everything else. It's my job to remember, right? If you contact me and you're like, hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? We'll talk about it. My job is to help you figure things out, right? Your job is to go clean windows, make a bunch of money. That's what it is. Same thing with window cleaning. So I'm going to follow up with them, but I'm going to say eventually at the very end, be like, hey, I don't want to keep bugging you if this is just not something you want to do, but I haven't heard from you. I'm taking that, but let me know either way. We can still do this and this and this, and I would love to earn your business, but I also don't want to be a nuisance to you. So let me know, and we'll go our separate ways. What that does is it puts it right out in front. So instead of people going, well, this guy he does this all the time. He's not even paying attention. He's like, oh, geez, I will 95% of the time get a response back. People will be like, oh man, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just been so busy. We got that. And a lot of times I'll actually get the close from that because people go, you know what? Yeah, I'm so sorry. We just got back from vacation. It just hasn't been in my mind. And we got to get something going. Let's go ahead and start this. Right? Boom. You're back to being a real person. As soon as you become a faceless thing, there are no emotions to a faceless thing. It's the reason people steal from Best Buy. It's Best Buy. They make enough money. They don't care. But it's harder to steal from, you know, Bill's store where he's standing there like, hey guys, thanks for coming in. You're like, right? Real people have feelings and no one wants to hurt feelings. So blatantly say it. Put it out there. It's definitely not uncomfortable once you do it enough. What's your advice for handling negative reviews online? Thank you from Rob. This was another one that is not super fun, but people don't understand because they take it personally. Like your business is your baby. I mean, this is your baby. You created this thing. So if I told you right now your company sucks, you'd be like, what the? You'd take offense. That's what reviews do, right? A lot of times people think they have to be mean to you to get like noticed, which is awful. I get people, and for us, it's 16-year-olds that started this business, and now they think they're everything, so they can talk to you like you're dirt and whatever. They think it's the way to kind of be noticed, right? In a bad review, it's not the bad review because we know people are crazy. Like that just happens. People are crazy. Some people just are not ever going to be happy. But it's how you respond to the review. This is what people go looking for. And I'm telling you, if you're watching the video, so I know many of you, thumbs up if you haven't yet. If you've gone to Amazon and searched all the negative reviews of an item to see if it's something you want. Because I do that. If I go and find an item and I go look at the reviews and the first one goes, the instructions are hard or didn't come with the right tools to put together or something, I'm like, these people are idiots. Like, these are not bad reviews. Right? But if I see in the reviews like these product started on fire and killed my family, then I'm like, whoa, oh gosh, okay. But it's how people respond. And here's the thing that's amazing in the review game. In all of your reviews, you can respond, which you should respond to every review, even if they're like, these guys are great. You just say, oh, thank you, Diane, so much for letting us help you. It was awesome. Your dog is so sweet. That because people are reading these. These are your chances to people to see you. The same thing as somebody goes, I used, so and so Nick Anderson's company and he sucks. Right? I'm going to find out what went on because we have 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you didn't tell me you weren't satisfied, I could only assume, right? So I'm going to go in there and go, like a lot of them, I'm sorry, Chuck, whatever. I'm sorry, I don't see we've ever done service for you before, so I apologize if maybe you have us confused with somebody, but I would love to show you how awesome we are. And call me personally, and I'll give you 50% off of a cleaning just so we can prove how awesome we are. Right? Now what does that do? What does that do to everybody else? They're like, oh, dude, this guy came in, they're like super cool. How you respond to your review is how the review actually comes in. You have to respond in a way that it shows people who you are and how awesome you are. Even if somebody's like literally, you went in, you broke something, you stepped on their dog. This did not happen to me, but I know a guy, I'm not putting his business out there. He had posted this. This is like 4 years ago. Who one of his guys that was in the house opened the door. The dog got out and ran and got hit by a car. Literally right outside the front door. And it was because the employee opened the door and the dog, it was this horrible thing. Now, the customer wasn't, I mean, very sad, obviously. The customer wasn't mad at them, but they were like, if something like that happened and you still got a negative review for that, absolutely it's founded. Look at negative reviews and you will see. I mean, look at WCRs. We have 7,500 reviews and like 10 of them are bad. And they're like, FedEx delayed my package by 2 days. That's not us. Why are we getting a 1-star review, right? I can tell instantly that's out. But even if something like that happens, how did you respond? Right? Even if something was bad, I'm so sorry. Diane, absolutely true. All that did happen. It was absolutely just a terrible situation. Nothing I can do will help the situation. It's completely on us, and I've changed your life, and I can't truly apologize enough for that. Do remember we refunded you 100% for that. There was no fault of your own, and we're deeply sorry. Right? That response gives them and anybody who reads it a whole different idea than if you're like, well, your dog runs away. You knew your dog. You even told us your dog always runs away. You can't believe this. It wasn't our fault that we opened the door. We had to get in. People are like, whoa, dude, this chick's dog died. What are you doing? Right? It's how you respond to them that equates to how people see you. Because guess what? I know, and you know, that everybody's not going to be happy. And you're not going to be 100% all the time, even if you think so. Right? Customers know that. That's why we have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You don't pay a dime unless you're satisfied. Before you get scared, what happens? If somebody's like, hey, there's a streak in this middle window. You go, oh, absolutely. Let me go take care of that. Now they're happy, right? So it's a play on words, really. And it's like, we're not going to leave. You're not going to be like, there's a streak on there. We're like, well, I guess you don't pay money then. See ya. No, you're just going to fix it. Now they're happy, right? But customers are worried that you're going to go in there and be like, bleh, and just leave, right? Setting expectations. So that's, again, where all of that kind of comes down. That's how you can do good reviews or bad reviews, turn them into good ones, and actually make money off of bad reviews, which sounds insanely crazy, but you're going to get them. I had a lady one time, this is a real story. She told me, she bid this house. She had an addition put on. So we went over everything. She did the house. This addition in the back was literally the entire back of a 2-story house was glass. They like added a greenhousey thing, right? So now their entire patio and everything was inside of glass. And we got there and the bid was off because she bid the house, not that. She got there and I was like, well, we're going to be doing the house. This is what we bid. Our window was whatever, 26 windows. And this is, 100 windows. And she was an Indian lady. And she says to me, first and foremost, right away, oh, wow, okay. I hope this isn't because I'm Indian. Are you a racist company? Those were the first lines out of her mouth when we did our walk around. I was like, well, we're not going to be doing any service for you. Absolutely no, this is not going to work out between us. And we're going to have to part ways. I know she's a crazy person. That's how she started it. She knows she tried to scam us. And she knows that kind of line works. Now, that type of person, you're not ever going to make happy. Like, they instantly started with a screw loose. So you know that customers could go bad. People know that. You know that it's not all going to happen. It's how you respond to it. That's the key. But anyway, by the way, if you guys don't know or like content, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Trying to create more content, kind of get things out there. Please do. That number that's on the screen right there, that's my cell phone. Save it. I want to put orders in. By the way, I don't have it because it didn't show up yet. Literally just came in. If you put $5,000 order in and 0 products, I can give you a free 0 Benchmade knife. Really, really awesome knives. They just came in super limited. Also, if you're placing any orders, we still have the limited edition stickers that come in your orders. This is for a contest. Also, by the way, put them somewhere cool. Post the pictures and you can win some free gear. If you order through me, I want to give you my limited edition sticker that you can only get by being a cool kid. So do that. And check out the podcast, WCR Nation. It's a window cleaning podcast. We've done it now. This is 8 years. Every single week we've done the podcast. So, and when I say we, I mean, it's been me and a bunch of great people that we've done interviews with. And You know, a lot of things that kind of go into it. So definitely go check that out. I got to get on chat, so I'm going to dip off. But thank you guys for watching. Like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hopefully we can do this more often. And if you're watching this not live, leave your questions in the comments. It helps videos when you put comments. If you didn't know, even if you said good morning, it helps. But if you have questions, put them in there. We'll get to them next time. And I'm going to be trying to get on again, doing a live every single day, or at least as much as I can. So thanks. And we will see you again. Hopefully you guys are making $1 million.